and welcome to my 16th video. Thank you so much for joining me if you're a return subscriber, or hello if you are new. My name's Adrina. I'm an Australian teacher, a Teachers Pay Teacher seller and a mum. So things get pretty crazy around here. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Teachers Pay Teachers Clipart niches that you might just want to know about or create for. So basically, I've done a little bit of research on the internet and I have come up with a list of some things that I have seen from asking about Clipart and also from reading particular people's pain points in the Clipart world on TPT. So the information I'm going to be sharing is basically from me reading about different people's problems in what they're looking for and compiling a little bit of a list and just kind of doing my research in the TPT world and in that space. So I've come up with a few ideas for you guys. So if you're thinking about starting a Teachers Pay Teacher store, maybe this list of Clipart niches might help you. Alternatively, if you have already started your Teachers Pay Teacher store, but maybe you're not getting any sales or not getting any traction with any of the stuff you've created already, this might just give you a bit of food for thought for some things that you might want to consider or think about or looking into creating. Of course, this is just an idea, this is just food for thought. So let's get into the niches that I have here. So the first niche that has come up multiple times is Clipart for older students. So what I mean by older students is physically the older students as Clipart, but also in particular subjects for older students as well. Now I know there's probably not as much because in the older years, they probably don't tend to use Clipart as much. However, I feel like even in the older years, there are teachers out there that are really wanting to have more Clipart, but not cutesy Clipart, if that makes sense. So they want Clipart that can resonate with their students as they are a bit older and have that visual aspect, but not to be so cutesy that they're gonna feel like a little kid when they have Clipart on their worksheet, if that makes any sense. So that's the first niche, Clipart for older students. The second Clipart niche is science. So this one has come up loads. So science apparently is a space on the TPT market at the moment where there's quite a gap. So from what I've gathered from the science niche, what people are looking for are things like life sciences, biology, zoology. Now zoology has been something that has come up multiple times, and from some things that I've read, like people are so surprised that zoology, Clipart, there's not as much on zoology or hardly anything. So if you know a bit about zoology and you want to do some Clipart, I feel like this would be a really good gap in the market to serve. So anyway, that's just something to say there about that. But okay, so the next niche is diversity. So diversity in the representation of different cultures, backgrounds, and ethnicity, abilities that are culturally relevant and sensitive. So this one is one that you have to be very mindful if you're wanting to target, but basically the representation of all different cultures, which you have to be mindful of how you actually depict each of these cultures or backgrounds or ethnicities. So just be mindful if you are targeting this, but from what I have researched, there is a need for that type of Clipart out there. Just be careful obviously with this when you're creating diversity, because you don't want to offend anyone in the particular way that you've created your Clipart. Again, the clip artist has that freedom to create their artworks in the way of their own art style. However, just be very mindful and considerate when you're drawing, for example, someone that's Asian or someone that's, of color, and just the way of their features and stuff like that. So just be very mindful and try and be as sensitive as you can. Do a bit of research into maybe if you're wanting to target different abilities as well, like people in wheelchairs or people with like hearing aids. Just different types of people and abilities are basically a niche in itself that people are looking for, but there's still room for more variety in. So that's just something to consider, especially moving forward into the inclusivity of everybody in the world, 2020 and beyond. It's just something to think about, having resources that have Clipart that represent diversity. Maybe there might be a bit more of a minority, but to be still represented as well. So the next one that I've got as a niche is animals. So yes, there's lots of animals on there, but what I have found in my research is animals that are realistic. So animals that don't have the big googly eyes. And don't get me wrong, they are amazing and they're super cute and I love them. And again, I'm early childhood based, so I love all that stuff. But to serve a niche that is underserved at the moment is more realistic sort of animals and more variety of them. But if you are wanting to target the cutesy type of animals, which is also something that I've written here, try and do like say a bear with that cutesy kind of face, but the same bear with different emotions. So especially if you're like say an early childhood teacher and you're wanting to write a story about something, and you know this same bear was sad at one point, or he was happy, to have that same bear but in a few different emotions, that would be handy for a teacher to use in their product creation. So I think if you are on the more early childhood base, or like if you're serving the lower grades as a clip artist, then maybe try and do the same animal with that cutesy style but just in different emotions. And you can do like lots of different animals, but just in, so you could have one clip art pack with say a bear, but all like maybe 10 or 12 different emotions that one bear has. And then you could do maybe like an emu with you know, all those same emotions, so you've got the variety of that. So that's just something to think about. My next niche is phonics, specific phonics and sounds. So this is just an example, but like for the sound, TH, you could do a thumb, you could do a thermometer, you could do other things that relate to, that have the beginning sound of in it, and that would be a nice little pack that you can compile together. My next niche is backgrounds. So this one I found quite interesting because people are looking for backgrounds, and backgrounds specifically like in niches like maths. So maths backgrounds for people to have like their background scene and having their product on top. So you might want to have like all the math type of symbols, like an addition sign, a subtraction sign, a time sign, but having that in cute little backgrounds that people can use, and also science backgrounds as well. Now in this backgrounds niche, people are also wanting clip art as like a full background scene, not just a photo. So having like a scene that has things in it, not just like an empty scene, but a scene that has particular things in it. It might be like a playground with a playground on it, and like I know there are some things out there, but I think people are just wanting some more variety with that, and having more particular honed in things like maybe inside a bus or inside the computer lab. There was one suggestion that also said even the decades, like basically old versus new. So the decade, so what it was like back in the day, you know, and then compared to now sort of thing. That was something that was brought up. The next clip art niche is specific subject areas. So you can get really niche down by honing in on specific subjects that aren't as popular or aren't as served on TPT. So for example, drama, and you might want to do some like acting signs or symbols, or like performance clip art. The next niche is sequencing. So there's a lot of people that I've read about that are wanting to get like a sequencing type of clip art. So for example, brushing your teeth. First you grab the toothbrush, then you put the toothpaste on the toothbrush, and then you put the toothbrush in your mouth, and then you brush your teeth. Something like that. I made that up just now. But basically the sequencing of events, that's something that also I want from people, from what I have read. Another niche is technology. So students doing things with technology, and especially this might be one to hone in on because, you know, going forward technology is only ever evolving. So having that technology clip art might be really helpful to those people, especially having the whole online thing, like having some symbols that might help when I've teachers creating things that might reference what to do on just things that involve kids doing technology, using technology, but having them actually as a clip art actually doing those things, and also maybe icons and stuff like that that might be helpful too. And the last one, which I found, I'm going to save the best till last. I think it's the best to last. Anyway, I just thought it was really interesting. But this one is something that I thought, hey, you know what, there might be a really underserved niche here. So again, when we're talking about cutesy stuff, there's lots and lots and lots of cutesy stuff out there. And, you know, kudos to those clip artists. They do an amazing job. It looks so engaging and so lovely for the younger students. But that leaves us with, what about the older students? And this led me to read something interesting about styles of particular clip art. So some styles that people are looking for, especially in the older years, are styles like a sketchy style or a doodle style. Like I offer some doodle style clip art on my Teachers Pay Teachers, and I was like pleasantly surprised when I read that when I was reading through things online, and someone's like, I like the doodle style kind of clip art, just want something simple. So I was like, oh yeah, I've got doodle style, so maybe I'm on the right track there with something. But another style is a cool, edgy, vintage style. So like punk style, gothic style. There's like so much cutesy stuff out there that those niches I don't think are being served as much. Especially for the older kids, I think like a cool, punk, edgy style of clip art might be really interesting for the teachers that are teaching older students to keep them more engaged, because it's going to be more like relevant to that. So my overall consensus of all of this, from what I'm getting at, from the market on TPT at the moment that's a little bit underserved, are a lot of clip art for older students. So if you are somebody that is wanting to create clip art, this might just be a good foundation of just even an idea of things that you can think about creating for your store. And again, this is just anecdotal research. This is research that I've done. I've put a few feelers out in the TPT waters. I've done a lot of reading as to what people might be wanting, and I've seen the same kind of things, come over again and again and again. So yeah, those clip art niches that I've gone over just now are ones that I've seen over and over again in my anecdotal research. So take what you will from that, but it is just some food for thought if you are wanting to get into the clip art side of things, as these are niches that I think could be potentially underserved at the moment. And so if you're a clip artist wanting to know where to start, these are some ideas for you to get started and just to think about, is that something that I can create? Is that something I want to create? So I hope those ideas might have been helpful to you to kind of what's going on in the TPT world at the moment. If you're a Teachers Pay Teacher seller already, or you are somebody as a teacher that buys off TPT, please, I really actually encourage you to leave a comment down below if there's anything that I've missed out, or if there's something that you agree with or something that you don't agree with, or just to add to the conversation, because leaving that down below will help also others who maybe decide to come across this video and read the comments. Might help those people think, okay, what are actually some things that I'm looking for Teachers Pay Teachers that I'd like clip artists to consider or to create. So leaving that a comment down below would be really helpful for not only me to see some of the things that I've said today are relevant and true. Leave your opinions of what things that you are looking for that is not being served at the moment. Okay, so I want to finish this video up with a quick little tip actually, and I'm hoping that this might be helpful because it took me a little while to kind of work it out. But basically, when you're on Teachers Pay Teachers, if you are a smaller store, the way you're going to stand out is to find a gap in the market. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. So let's go over to my computer and I'll show you what I mean by finding the gap in the market. Let's go. Okay guys, so this is just a quick little tip that I just want to share with you guys. If you are deciding to create clip art, I just want to kind of go over this because it might be really helpful to you for deciding what you want to create. So basically, let's just talk about the search bar. So for starters, searching something on Teachers Pay Teachers involves using keywords. So keywords are just basically words that you type into Teachers Pay Teachers or any platform to find something. So for example, if I was a teacher and I wanted to look for zoology clip art, let's have a look, like we discussed in one of the niches, zoology art. So I've typed that in and look at this. There's only 80 results. So amazing to the people that have already got their stuff out, for, like these are super cute, amazing. But if I was thinking about the actual amount of what even comes up for zoology clip art, there's not a lot. So this is definitely a place that you could get seen if you knew a little bit about zoology, or if you wanted to create like a zoology clip art pack. Because if I'm looking through here, like there's not a lot of clip art. Like these are now going into like actual resources. They're not even clip art anymore. So that's the third page. So if you are somebody that knows a bit about zoology and knows about what things you sort of want to have as clip art. So I'm going really fast here. It's really only the first page that there's 2. So we've got the first 2 that pop up, and again, amazing clip art. Well done to whoever's done these. But I am looking at them and I would say they're more targeted at the lower-ish years. I wouldn't say that maybe someone in high school would want to be using these, and they might, I don't know. But what I can see is if I go further down, let's just have a look. So can you see what I mean about the cutesy? Like, again, beautiful clip art and amazing for lower year students or lower grade students. But as I'm going on, it's now even just going now to resources. There's not even clip art anymore. So we're starting here at a crossword. We're not looking for a crossword. Now it's coming back to clip art again. And there's a few SVG clip art versions of things. Let's go to page 2. Okay, so now we're even, like, basically, some of this is not even clip art now. So these 2 are clip art. This is a part of a card pack. In regards to the zoology clip art, it has pretty much ended on that second page. So what I'm trying to say here basically is the niche of zoology, if you are somebody that knows a little bit about that or knows how to create that or is willing to put in some study into what people want for zoology clip art, then this is a niche that is very underserved. It's 80 result. Let's have a look at something else. And the way that you can kind of just test whatever you want to find is just type it into the search bar. That's all you've got to do, and basically that's going to tell you, like, for example, I just typed in something else that I thought might be interesting, science doodle style clip art, because this is something that I'm going to be looking at doing. I can see here, oh my goodness, there's only 78 results. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so these aren't really doodle style. Oh, here we go. Oh, and of course, Sarah Pecorino, she is an amazing illustrator. I think a lot of people love her. Like, I just think she's amazing, and I think she's an amazing person as well. And I know this because I'm part of one of her groups. So, Sarah, you rock. You're just amazing, and I look up to you as a clip artist. That is awesome. So you can see, like, she's definitely utilized this keyword. So science doodle style clip art, because there's hardly anyone else here. So she's got space doodle clip art collection funnels. So she's got a few science related clip art things that she's definitely maximized her use of that and the niche, I guess, in that way. So that is amazing. But yeah, as you can see, that this is also probably another topic that is underserved. So if you are someone that would like to do some science doodle style clip art, that is something that is specific but only has 78 results, so you might have a better chance of being seen as a new clip artist. What I can also suggest, because I'm just going to show you, like, if I type in kids clip art, let's just see how many results come up for that. Kids clip art. Like, look at this, 36,586 results. So yeah, as you can see, guys, if I type in just kids clip art, it's not very specific, but I would say if I'm looking for kids, look how many compared to the 78 for science doodle clip art. This is what I mean about finding your gap. So think about what you want to create, type it in the top of the bar here, and see what is happening, see how many results there are. So let's say if I'm thinking about Christmas, let's do, like, for example, let's just type in elves. Let's see what is there for elves clip art. Okay, so elves clip art, we've gone to 2,632. That's still a bit, but it's always good to look further down to see kind of what is there and see if it is clip art. Like I said, sometimes it's not, but I would imagine with that amount of results, that's got to be clip art for a few pages. So let's narrow this down. Let's do like cheeky elves or something like, yeah, cheeky or mischievous elves. Cheeky elves clip art. Oh, here we go, you guys. Now we're getting into the good stuff. So cheeky elves clip art, there are 11 results. So that is something that is more niched, more narrow. So you're going to definitely have a lot more of a chance to stand out. There's not even 2 pages of this. So what I'm just basically getting at, you guys, and this can apply to normal Teachers Pay Teachers products. If you can find something that has low results, there's more of a chance of you standing out. The only thing about this is sometimes low results will either mean people aren't looking for that particular thing, or it's just you're onto a gold mine, sort of, in a way of like it's not being served, it's not being. So if yours comes up basically because there's only 11 people that have made this, there's definitely a higher chance of you being found the lower the results. But again, you have to look into it, see if it is something that people might want. And again, that's just my 2 cents, and hopefully that's helpful. Maybe in another video down the track I'll do a bit more into the whole SEO keywords and stuff. I'm still learning all of this, guys, so I hope that we can just learn this together, and I'm just sharing what I know. So yeah, hopefully it's helpful. Okay, so that's the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. If you made it all the way through, I hope you found some value in this video, and I hope that it sparked a bit of food for thought for if you are starting your clip art journey, or just to give you some ideas of what things I've researched about to what there's not that much of, teachers maybe want more variety of. So again, feel free, please, to leave a comment if there's anything that I've missed out in 2021 of things that teachers are looking for, because again, the clip art needs are always going to be ever changing, and you know, as the world goes on, there's different things in the world. So please don't be afraid, leave a comment below, either agreeing, disagreeing, or suggesting something else that you believe is something that's underserved at the moment, because I think we can all benefit from knowing what you think or what you believe or what you've looked for, because as teachers who are creating, or creatives in general, if you're on TPT and you're looking for something and you can't find it, and especially if you're not a clip artist, and you say if you're just a normal Teachers Pay Teacher seller watching this and you're like, oh my goodness, I wish there was this, then leave a comment below, so then someone might see that comment and be like, oh well, I need to create that, and there's more chance of having a bit more variety in those things that are underserved or undervalued at the moment on TPT. With that said, I just want to say thank you so much for all the new subscribers. I think we're at like 148 at the moment, so that's amazing, guys. The growth that I've seen on my YouTube has been really encouraging, so I really thank you for that. And not only that, I am just going to say thank you, guys. I have seen some people have gone to my store and actually left a comment saying I found your videos, so thank you so much for that. Someone recently commented on it, and I think her name was Andrea. Thank you so much for commenting on that. That really made my day. Hope you have an amazing day. Think about what I've said today, and think about what things you'd like to create. Again, this is not telling you what to create. This is just giving you some ideas, some food for thought. You can create whatever you like, and you can decide on what you want to create. And don't forget to use the search bar on TPT to kind of test your idea, or have a look at how many results are currently there. See if there's a gap in the market for that. With that said, thank you so much. Have an awesome day and happy creating. Adios.